Welcome to Traveling with AAA. I'm your host, Angie Orth, and we're back with Nick and Leah from Were You Raised by Wolves to count down their top 5 trickiest air travel etiquette dilemmas. These are the situations that spark the most debate and leave even the most polite travelers wondering, what's the right move? So let's talk about bringing outside food on the plane. Should heavily scented foods be banned, or is it fair game?
You know, I hate the word banned because I want to support free will. That being said, if you've ever sat next to a food that you personally do not do well with, and a person opens it up and you're like, oh, I'm going to be sitting next to this in a closed environment for hours, it feels like it should be illegal.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of banned because there should be some judgment that is added by individual travelers. I don't want to leave it to the airlines to decide exactly what's not allowed. I feel like the idea is let's not inconvenience other people. But some airlines have banned things like durian, which I respect. I'm on board with that. But yeah, I think we want to be mindful of our bubble. We need to stay within our bubble. So that's our physical bubble. No manspreading, not hogging somebody else's armrest. But we also need to stay within our scent bubble. So whatever we're eating needs to stay within my scent bubble. And so if you're not doing that, then that's rude.
That's a great way to look at it, is that you've kind of got your real estate on the plane.
Yep.
And that's what you have purchased. So anytime anything in your person is encroaching on someone else's real estate, whether that's sound or smell or your arms or your legs or your baggage or whatever, then you are outside of your bubble. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personal boundaries, right?
Stay in your bubble.
Stay in your bubble.
And it's
okay.
also sometimes you got a sandwich, then you got to eat it or whatever. But if you have an egg sandwich with maybe it's got tuna on top of it and some onions, don't leave it open and kick it around. Know that everybody's smelling it. Get it in there. Close it out.
Eat it quick and be done with it. and don't make everyone else suffer. Yeah, there's probably 5 or 10 things that if someone opened their to-go container next to me, I'd be like, oh, this again? Why? And yeah, have you ever put your face inside your clothes on a plane or on a train because the smell, whatever it was just too much? That's all.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
cultural. I mean, there's a lot of things that are just culturally different. Just acceptable foods in one place are going to be different than other places. So trying to be as neutral as possible is sort of ideal when possible.
Okay, let's talk about chatty seatmates. How do you politely signal that you don't want to make friends on this flight?
What's different about Leah and me is that she actually doesn't have a problem with this. She will be delighted to talk to a stranger an entire flight.
And
so
you?
I feel like this doesn't even apply to you.
I've made some really nice friends.
I am not interested in making friends. And I am happy to send all of the subtle signals of oh, we're not going to be friends or chatting, which is sort of very short answers, get the headphones in, turn to the book. But if required, if they just miss all of those signals, then I am delighted to be very polite, direct, so nice chatting with you. I'm going to move to my book now. Hope you have a great flight. And then it's sort of that's the end of our relationship.
Yeah, I feel like I could go either way, but I always put my headphones in to signal I don't want to be your friend. And then if the person seems cool and I'm like, okay, we could talk, sure. But just in case my seatmate is just, oh no, just a big fat, oh no, then headphones are in immediately, just in case.
Headphones is a great signaler.
I have met amazing people on flights, people I'm still in touch with. You really
That is so delightful for you.
It is. You can really connect, but those were earlier days.
I don't want to connect. I don't want to make any human connections.
No, and also I see flying as time to either get work done or just disconnect mentally and listen to music or play a game. And sometimes that's just your me time, and that's lovely. That's sometimes you need that. So it's kind of knowing what you want to get out of it. Some people literally want to make friends with everyone. I feel like Leah is the one. If you want to make a friend on a flight, you sit by Leah.
But I also don't, I'm happy to not talk at all. But if someone's a fun, I'll chat. But if I'm sometimes you're right in the middle of a book and you've left your characters in a precarious position And it's all you can think about. I will say, hey, I got to hop into this book. I left my characters in a really bad place. I'm sure you get it. And I'll get in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have limits. I do have boundaries.
You have boundaries, but you're open to friendship. I love that.
I'm open to friendship. I will
that's-
follow you on Instagram when we get off the flight.
I love doing that. And then wondering 10 years later, who is this person? I have no idea.
Yes.
I started following this person.
Oh,
I've
yes,
only-
Delta to Detroit. I remember her.
I've only actually ever had one conversation with someone in an airplane, and it was like a celebrity that I was seated next to. And I was like, obviously, we're going to take this opportunity. But
Yeah.
that
Who
is
was it?
it.
You have
It
to-
was Nora Ephron.
Oh,
Amazing.
And which, like, if you're seated next to Nora Ephron, like, obviously. And the best part is, it's time for the meal service, and they're asking, like, oh, what would you like, the chicken or the fish? And so Nora says, I'll have the chicken. And then I said, I'll have what she's having.
That is the moments we live for. Like,
Yes.
So there was that.
That's incredible. I bet people say that to her all the time, and she's like, okay. But perfect timing. You couldn't just not say it.
I had no choice.
say it?
I was really obligated. Yeah.
You
You
had to.
were. Fantastic.
You had to. Okay. Let's talk about switching seats, because I feel like this is on the news every week, or at least on TikTok, Instagram. You're seeing it. So-and-so asked me to switch my seat. And then either people are like, yeah, cool, whatever, no problem. Or it becomes a whole thing and people are getting removed from the plane and there's hurt feelings. So what do you think if someone asks you to swap seats so they can sit with their family or friend? Are you obligated to say yes?
No, you're not obligated to say yes. You picked your
Nope.
seat.
Nope. You can sit in the seat you paid for. Not a problem.
Yes. I feel like
I think we're both very clear on that. No.
Now, if you want to have my seat, well, then let's start the negotiation. So are you giving me a better seat? Is this a bit of an upgrade? Is it like for like? Or maybe it's a worse seat, but like throw some cash at me. You want my seat?
listen.
Let's start the bidding.
Yes.
You can definitely send me some money via Zelle. I'll take it. Yeah.
Well,
And like, how much
I'll
is it worth to have me in a middle seat in the back? There could be a dollar amount if you really want my seat. Sure. But no, I feel no obligation to give up my seat that I paid for.
What if
And
someone-
I'm the type of person that when I book flights, I look at the aircraft type, I look at the configuration, I look at the seat maps. Like I have picked that seat specifically. I know whether or not there's actually a window at that window seat. I know the proximity to all the other amenities. Like I'm not giving that up.
No, I picked it on purpose. Now, what if someone's crying? What if they're crying, Nick?
Oh, let me get a flight attendant who can assist further.
Are people crying?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past people, There's always a sob story about why you didn't have access to the same choices that I did.
But also, this aircraft has more than just my seat available. Why is my seat the one that you would eat?
Mm-hmm.
And why is it my responsibility to fix some airline mistake?
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
So I say, hold your ground.
I don't understand why a person would be obligated to switch. It's just, I can do it if we want to talk about it and it works okay, but I'm under no obligation.
Right.
What about the window shade war? I am a window seat person myself, so this one is very important to me. Who gets to decide if the window shade stays up or down? Is it the window person no matter what? Or do they need to take into account what their middle and aisle folks want?
I think it's window seats choice. They can take into account the middle and aisle if they so choose, but window gets window privileges.
But if the window person is requested to lower the shade, and that's a reasonable request, hey, I want to watch a movie. It's a little bright. Would you mind? I think that would be very courteous to like lower the shade.
But if they
If you could.
if they
you
don't want to, if say they get motion sick and they need to be able to look out at the light or something to that effect,
Then
they
that's the end of it. Yeah.
now what
That's
if
kind of the end of it.
reaches over? What do you think about reachers?
You have intruded in their personal space bubble, and that is wrong. So
I
you're not
mean,
allowed to do that.
reaching is, you should lose that
That's
arm.
aggressive.
Or
Yeah.
I just chop? Yeah. we
Yeah.
don't-
I mean,
Yep.
if it's so serious to the point where you really need that window shade in a different location, then you have to loop in a flight attendant. This is not something for you to solve.
Why did you not then get a window seat if you're so ardent about how you need your windows?
Fair.
You have to decide what your priorities are before you choose your seat, right? Like, do you need the window? Is that important? Do you need to get up 100 times? So you need the aisle. Do you need more leg room? You have to decide these things. These aren't,
Life is about trade-offs.
yeah,
It
we
really
can't
is.
just leave it
Yeah.
to the last minute and hope the airline gives us the desires of our hearts, because
Or
that
fly private.
happen.
Just don't fly commercial.
Sure.
That'll solve all your problems.
Or you know what? I just drove across America because I want my dogs. I can't take 2 dogs on an airplane. So what did I do? I drove. Sometimes you just can't have the window shade closed.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to make other choices, and the other choice might just be better.
And I think there is, among some people out there, a feeling that they are entitled to have everything. They're
Mm.
entitled to always be comfortable. They're entitled to always like get everything that they need. And it's sort of like life is not that. And I think it could be very jarring for some people to discover that, like, oh, sometimes things are just unpleasant and I don't get everything. And I feel like some people like learn that lesson the hard way, but it's a lesson that all of us have to learn at some point. And
Mhm.
so this is a perfect example of like, yeah, sometimes on an airplane, the window shade is not where you want it.
I am an aisle and I know like maybe I have my laptop up and I can't see it perfectly because the shade is not where I would have put it, but I didn't choose the window. So I'm going to figure out what I need to do to make it work over here because the window is not my territory. I get to get up anytime I want to. That's what I chose.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about choices and knowing what you're getting yourself into with modern air travel, which can be great, but can also be, you know, a flying metal tube.
Can it be great?
It's better
When
than
was
a,
that?
I'm
better than
I'm
a horse
hoping
and buggy.
Are we
I'm not-
flying Braniff? Like what like when was it great?
It can be probably, maybe. I'm being idealistic. If
Okay.
everybody had the etiquette that you have suggested today, and everybody had the self-awareness, then it actually could be quite nice. And I think we
And
could all-
everyone got a pony,
right.
and there was soft serve ice cream everywhere,
This is not
and
too-
it was sunny every day. Yes, if we lived in fantasy world.
Oh,
I
alas.
think it's so much better than like having to take a wagon across America. I'm delighted for it. If we could just do a little less cologne, it would really make it nicer.
Agree. Okay. Last question for you guys. What is the single most important piece of air travel etiquette advice you wish everybody knew before boarding a plane?
This is not your house. You are in public.
Yes.
That's it.
This is gospel.
You're not at home here.
This is not your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
There
Well-
are other people here.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're not at home. You have left the house. And so different rules apply. So sorry.
Yeah, mine is just there are other people here who also have needs and wants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So
That's the plaque that needs to be on the plane. You are not at your house. Not white
you are
person,
not
just you are not at your house. Keep your feet contained. Stay in your bubble. I don't want to smell your items, and I don't want to hear your video games. The end.
every airplane should have a needle point at the front door that says, this is not your house.
This
They
is
should.
a
Wouldn't that solve all these problems?
bedroom. It would. It truly would. I feel a merch line coming on.
Mm.
We're on it.
Okay.
Visit our
Airline
online
merch.
store.
Nick Leighton and Leah Bonnema, thank you for joining us, and thank you to our listeners for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.